I can show you the world. Shining, shimmering, splendid. Tell me, princess, now when did you last let your heart decide?
Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's been a long time. Welcome back to another week's devlog. My name's Alex with the Maximus Games team, and woo, it's been a crazy past few weeks. First and foremost, as you can see, I'm in a totally different spot. See, college semester has started, so I've moved back up to South Dakota to my collegiate residence. And with that, my time management skills have been stretched to the max between school and sports and work, and of course, making time walk tower defense. But not to fear, we've made some huge progress these past few weeks. We've gotten out a trailer, which you should go check out on our YouTube channel. And in addition, we've been working towards getting a playable beta ready so people can test our game. More on that later. But without further ado, let's go take a look at everything we've had to do to make all this come to life. We've been meeting almost non-stop these past few weeks to get the game to a testable state. One of the biggest culprits of taking up our time was making and balancing these levels. To begin, we needed maps, which had been done several weeks prior. We were satisfied with their design, so we decided no changes were necessary there. Then came the hard part, deciding what and how many enemies you should see in each level.
1 million.
Our initial iterations felt like there just weren't enough enemies, to the point a single wave could take under 10 seconds. So, after a bit of enemy rebalancing, there's now a more sizable amount of enemies you'll see in a single wave, and it is much more satisfying.
100 billion.
However, our work was not even remotely done. We then had to test our levels to make sure they weren't too easy or too hard for the difficulty we wanted to shoot for. Each of us played through the level as different characters to try to get a feel for how hard the level was. It took many tries and many playthroughs to actually get these numbers right, and even now, we're probably not done balancing them quite yet. However, we think they're at a very good point still, and as every motivational speaker ever has told you, perfect is the enemy of good, so we called it good and moved on to other tasks we needed to get our beta up and running. As we played through the levels, we quickly realized that some of our towers for our heroes just didn't feel worth it or just frankly felt bad. This led us to make some pretty key changes, particularly with the Wizard and General. For the Wizard, his Mana Well and Mana Spire towers, which boosted mana regen and maximum amount respectively, felt like they were competing for your gold and you just didn't win with one since you needed both. He also struggled to take down enemies, so we felt like he just needed a little bit more oomph. So, in addition to some numbers tweaking, we combined his Mana Well and Mana Spire into a single tower, while also giving him a new one, the Arcane Inhibitor, which causes his abilities to have an increasing slow when they damage enemies. We think these changes have made him much more viable and a lot more enjoyable to play. The General's radar site was, to be frank, a useless tower. The move speed it provided was simply not worth any amount of gold. So, we scrapped the tower and went for something else. We have given him the Military Industrial Complex to replace it. At the end of every round, it gives you some gold, so you have more for the next round. This gives him some very interesting choices to make. Do you boost your income so you can be stronger at the later levels, or you need the firepower now? Oh, did you build too many and overgreed, and now you're gonna get punished for it?
On the one hand, gold. On the other hand, painful, agonizing failure.
Our playthroughs also led us to plenty of changes all around as well. Some numerical, some were functional. But the saddest change we had to make was the Robots Bot Factory, which unfortunately just scaled too high with enough energy.
only one. Bacteria. Two is what we then become. Bacteria. Each of us becomes two more. Bacteria. We are stronger than before. Bacteria. We keep growing at this rate. Bacteria. No longer shall we wait. Bacteria. The plan now unfolds. Bacteria. We will take over the world.
Our playthroughs also revealed a few more bugs than I'd care to admit. The entire past week was almost solely dedicated to locating and stomping out bugs as they appeared. Our thought process there was that it was more important to stamp out bugs than get more content made for the beta. We want to identify any core gameplay issues or changes we need to make to it with the first few levels, then give out a buggy beta that has 1,000,000 levels. It's more important to us that our players can get a more genuine experience with the game, so we can get their feedback on that, rather than just 1,000,000 bug reports. As the planned date to push the beta got closer and closer, something still felt wrong. Our game just didn't feel complete. But then we finally realized it. Our game was just an old-timey silent film. No music, no real special effects. It was time to panic.
What's his name? What's his name? I got nothing on a name. Come on, baby, what's the name? We threw out his name!
But not to worry. Using some great online resources, we were able to get some sweet soundtracks and great sound effects to use for our game. In addition, we all worked together to add in some great visual effects to make the players' and enemies' abilities way more satisfying. Check out this gameplay from the fighter and see for yourself.
Oh, that's hot. That's hot.
And of course, what game is complete without a trailer? Nick and I collaborated to get a trailer made and released to YouTube. Link in the description, go check it out, it's great, it's so awesome, you should go check it out right now. Nick handled the script and making the initial scene, while I created a sweet art piece for the background, animated the characters, and handled the camera work. Nick also supplied the gameplay clips you see there. It turned out really well, so I'd highly recommend you go and give it a look if you haven't already.
Go on. They call themselves the Time Walk Heroes, hailing from all eras. They are beginning to throw a wrench in our plans.
And of course, it goes without saying that we've tackled a whole lot more than that since you guys last saw us. On my end, that included some additional animations, some other art pieces we needed, and a whole bunch more. But you guys are just gonna have to wait to see that till future devlogs where we dive in more depth to that part of the game. For now, our beta consists of the first 6 levels, where the time loss lead a brutal assault against you. And I am very happy to announce that beta is ready to go. We are looking for a few of you guys to help us test our game. If you're interested, be sure to comment down below and subscribe to the YouTube channel and we can get a copy of the game over to you guys. We're only going to give it out to a few people, so be sure to try to be one of the first people to do it so you can be top of the list. We really need your guys' feedback to help make our game as great as possible. And so, with all that, thank you guys so much for watching, and of course, game on.